All right. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Lights out, baby.
Got done fucked up and let my man in the game.
AKA Blind Dog Willie Brown from the Sugar Town.
Yeah,
Came to put it down, you know what I'm saying?
With my man Arkansas boat. Sugar Town, baby, but ain't shit sweet. We gonna put it down like this. Yeah. Come on, come on, come on.
This game been fucked ever since a nigga got signed. I drop rhymes and dot spines with Glock 9s. Let me stop lying. I don't dot spines with Glock 9s, but I got mine cocked and shine for those that watch and try to stop mine. Niggas get down when both do-wop spit rounds. Got veterans in this game running ready to quit now. Cold without the ice and it ain't shit that y'all can tell me. I want niggas buying their own shit attempting to outsell me. Mouths of mine, dog, and I spit nothing but gold. Every time I drop a record, it ain't nothing but soul. Arkansas the game in half cause I'm a Razorback. I'm spitting acid that you don't feel in your facial back. Rhyme sharp and on point like the tip of a butcher knife. Unannounced like the coming of Christ, but it was I that took your life. Punch a punk dumb, my impact, I leave your body numb. My cocking is natural, just like the state that I'm from, nigga. This Arkansas's finest. I'm shining so hard in this game that if you scared, you just might wind up being blinded. This Arkansas's finest. I'm spitting cool shit in the ear, you catch a chill and you can't help but to rewind. This Arkansas's finest. Running up on the kid like this shit is not a plus, it's a minus. This Arkansas's finest. That nigga do up excel. I'm too advanced, leaving niggas running behind. Man, I rock like Kane, I drop like Bane. Can't nobody stop my thing. I'm Trump type, man. Rock microphones from right to left because I'm tight to death. You wanna fight, then step, vicious rights and lefts. You could get left in sights of death. Put your lips on the cannon, nigga, boy. You could bite the tips out, search your jeans and flee the scene. Squeak it clean, get up with my real niggas and go chief some green. Bo do I, bro? Don't ask who I'm shooting, cause I done shot ya. Had to scope on your every move and dropped you, cucaracha. Did it at the drop of a dime. My teeth yellow, cause everything that I spit gon' shine. Right in the sun, fluorescent beams, no testing the team. Know what it means to have so much green? Your pockets bust from the seams? Well, I don't. Nigga, hand me everything that you got. Fireball in my fist and still and rain. It's not nigga, this Arkansas's finest. I'm shining so hard in this game that if you scared, you just might wind up being blinded. This Arkansas's finest. I'm spitting cool shit in your ear, you catch a chill and you can't help but to rewind. This Arkansas's finest. Running up on the kid like do this shit is not a plus, it's a minus. This Arkansas's finest. That nigga do up excel. I'm too advanced, leaving niggas running behind. See ya? Y'all done open the doors and call the nigga name so that he can show off his talents and act up in this thing, man. It's B to the Izzo, due to the whiz up. And if y'all try to battle, man, y'all niggas need to stizz up. Never aiming low, dog, I'm always aiming for the tiz up. Leaving these niggas stunned with Arkansas flows that I drizz up. Trying to take over hip hop, flip paper, never blizz up. Overflowing with talent, we niggas go grab a miz up and soak up the game that I'm spitting. Hitting your gal with southern twang and now she petting the kitten. She do what she wants, she bitten by the black wolf. She stays in position, letting me beat the nookie when I'm done.
All right, here we go once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a preview for our invasion into Aggie Land this morning. I am your host, Patrick Anamdi, Jeans, Ali, and my co-pilot right over here. I got the Sarge, Mr. Chris Turner, in the house.
Good morning, everyone.
All
Time
right.
to get going.
Yes, sir. We got a Woo Big Double O already on the scene. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you for joining with us. And, as we get started here today, we got a big matchup for the Hogs. Real pivotal game to see if we can get back on the right side of the bubble going into the NCAA tournament. And this is the kind of win that we need. We got one at Kentucky, and that was good. But we built ourselves a pretty big hole for the Hogs, and so we got to go down deep in the heart of Texas, down into College Station against Buzz Williams and the hard-nosed, tough Texas A&M Aggies and find some kind of way to get a win. Question is, can we do it? And me and Sarge are going to explore that today. And so let's get it cracking. So just to start out, Sarge, give me your thoughts on, the matchup going in here against A&M.
Man, you want to talk about going into enemy territory? We fixing to head that way right now. We going into the house that is going to be tough to win. Their fans are going to show up. The arena is going to be loud. Our boys are going to have to come ready to play, and from the tip. What I would love to see is a complete game today, and it's going to take a complete game. We went into Rupp Arena, and we rose to that challenge. So I think we can do it again here and down in College Station, but we're gonna have to play no mistakes. We're gonna have to play mistake-free basketball.
Yeah, for sure. And we got an Angel, Arkansas versus Aggies today. Welcome, Angel. Thank you for joining in. I don't think I've ever noticed your name, but we can use all the Angels we can get today.
Yeah. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, for sure. And A&M is the number 8 ranked team, so a chance to beat a top 10 opponent will go a long way towards getting us back on the right side of this bubble. And A&M is a team that traditionally we've been able to go down there and get wins, and we've had a lot of success against them Of course, this is the first year for John Calipari at Arkansas, and so if he can prove that he can carry over that and go down here and get a win that we desperately need, A&M obviously has cushion. It's not a must win by any means for them, but for us, having an opportunity to go down there, beat a top 10 team on the road, will definitely, because a lot of people right now seem to have Arkansas in the last four in category. But if we can go down there on the road in the SEC and beat a top 10 team, that gets us, I think, solidly on the right side of that bubble. And so it's a huge game for the Razorbacks, and we're going to take a look at how we can go about doing it.
And it sure changes the narrative on Arkansas if we could go down there and get a win, a quality quad one win against a tough opponent, and instead of is Arkansas good enough to make the tournament or not? Let's just end that talk by going down there and handling our business today and taking a giant step forward in that conversation. Now, I'm not saying it puts us in for sure, but it goes a long way in helping us get in.
Right. And since we got the Kentucky win, I think the Kentucky win was big because at that time Kentucky was pretty hot. And once we went on the road and beat Kentucky, everybody started saying, "Hey, well, Arkansas is a team to be reckoned with again." We followed,
and they coming back again.
Exactly. And we followed that up with a road win at Texas, and that really got us going. We turned around. We let Alabama get us at home, but again, Alabama's the number one, number two team in the country, for that matter, and so there's no shame in losing to them, and I think that's our only loss in the last four games. So we're heading in the right direction, but again, we dug ourselves such a big hole that we're going to need to get some more wins in order to reestablish ourselves, as a legit tournament team. Woo Pig 00 says he expects Knox and Billy Richmond to have a consistent game today. And I know, Sarge, when we were talking earlier, you kind of talked about, the key to the game being to hold Wade Taylor. So kind of talk about how you see we can go about doing that.
I think just like Woo Pig 00 mentions here is my key if I'm Cal is I take my best defensive player, uh, Billy Richmond, and just lock him on Wade Taylor and make Wade Taylor earn every bucket he makes. Between him and DJ Wagner, you're gonna wear him out. If you stick tight to him, make him have to run around and go through screens and this, that, another all game, he's gonna get tired. DJ's got a good motor on him, plays good defense. You got Billy Richmond that is all motor and good defense. And then if Carter Knox can show up and give us, a 10-point game, to go along with, Big Z, if he stays hot and keeps doing what he's doing, we could be right in this game.
Right. And of course, I think that kind of speaks to the level of talent that we have here at Arkansas, that we can throw two big, 6'6", 6'7" wings that can be locked down defenders, and they're freshmen, by the way, in Carter Knox and Billy Richmond at a guy like Wade Taylor. And so, if we can do that, like you guys are saying, that'll go a long ways towards helping us get this win. Now let's go.
I think Angel's got to, before we move on real quick, Angel's got a good point there. It seems like that's common sense with rebounds and points, but that's going to be a critical thing today. Is we got to pound the glass. We need good second chance points. We need to hold that defensive glass and keep them from getting easy second chance points, and we need to have some consistent scoring. We can't have them 2.5, 3 minute droughts, without scoring. So that's a good take there.
Right. And that's one thing I really love about this community. We got some real knowledgeable,
Yes.
and like we said last time, we kind of introduced the show. Like, we really want to be a platform to, in a similar vein, just like Woo Pig podcast and the Hog Wild podcast, is to give a platform for those Arkansas fans who are very knowledgeable and very astute. And like my man, Transplanted Texans just showed up in the house. Um, to come in and have a voice, and I know since I've been in this space, you know, everybody knows the game and everybody has some legitimate points to make. And so even going back to my old nemesis box, to unbiased brim, and so many of the guys that we get in this space, but even the ones that just hang out in the chat, some real astute basketball fans we got here in Arkansas. So we really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. And I just want to do a quick plug right quick. Now, I got a background in sports journalism, and I'm back in the game right now. And if you want to check out some of my articles, please go check out the Razorbacker website. It's at razorbackers.com, and you can find some of the pieces I've got here. Um, I'm just a contributor there. I don't run the site or anything, but they are a national site under fan sided, and they got some really I mean, it's just like ESPN or any other sites you'll find out there. That, they do very thorough coverage of all kinds of sports, from professional, uh, and college, and of course, we focus here at Razorbackers on the Arkansas Razorbacks. But you can go down here, find any of the latest news. Of course, they got an article here by my man John Wayne on Arkansas going down there to get that win at LSU in the last game. And here you got Austin Farmers work. And so we got a great team of writers here at Razorbackers, and your friendly neighborhood sports guy is in the mix. So, check out some of the stuff. I definitely hope you guys can check out the very first one I did here for basketball on, just previewing Arkansas's run here in the SEC. And it talked about, going all the way back to the beginning when we first brought in Calipari with John Tice and that whole relationship. I had a lot of fun writing it, and I think it's very relevant even to this day. So if you guys get a chance, you go over and check some of that out. Now let me continue on, and let's get into this tale of the tape. And give me so Sarge, go ahead and give me some of your thoughts on the game again while I look this up.
Man, I just think it's that time, man. One thing I hope is the players are more awake than I am in this early morning Saturday game, because I like the night games better. But we'll see how it works out today. But man, it's all going to come down to consistency. Who's going to contribute today? Who's going to be that scorer? Who's going to make them special plays to get us this victory? We got to cut down on the unforced errors. In the Alabama game, we had a lot of chances to score buckets, and we turned the ball over with not smart basketball, low IQ basketball is what I call it. In this league, you can't afford to be low IQ basketball. You gotta play smart, and I think sometimes that is guys just getting over anxious. They're reacting before they think, because they're young. Some of them now, like Nelly, he's a senior. He's got to know better. He's got to be smarter with his passes, when to make them. And it's a common thing we all know. I've never been 7'2" in my life, but I know that you don't pass a 7'2" guy a bounce pass down at his knees. that's going to get taken away every time. We got to, a couple of things I really liked was seeing Big Z on that pick and roll where they got him headed towards the basket where he could dunk. Um, I I don't know. There's too many guys out there that if he goes to dunk, that are going to be able to stop him. Even though he's not the muscly guy, the biggest guy out there, he's still 7'2" with his arms raised. He's got to be not. I mean, he's right there at the basket. I mean, just standing there with his arms up. So he jumped just a little bit. It's going to be hard to stop him. So I think we could take advantage of that. And then, he pick and pop is there all day long. I looked his stats up and he's got more 3-pointers. He's shooting right now. His 3 points, he shot in 88 3-point attempts. And he's made 39 of them. Where John L. Davis has shot 113 and only made 37. So, if you think about it, Big Z's our deep threat, more or less. So it'd be nice to see John L. Get that percentage up and start making a few more threes. Definitely would help this team, and it's just gonna have to be a team effort today.
Yeah, I know. One of the things I do for the Razorbacks is I cover the post game press conferences, and they talk quite a bit about, and I think apparently Calipari was sick after the last game, and Coach Chin Coleman did the post game presser. But one of the things he talked about, along with Big Z, was the adjustment they made in terms of how they've been utilizing Z lately. And it spoke to just what you were saying, Sarge, in terms of they were not only having him step out and pop out and hit the threes, but roll into the basket. And, that combination obviously has been very effective. We've seen Z, roll to the basket, get some dunks. We've seen him post up and pop out, and so all that together, he's been averaging, well, at least in the last couple of games, he's had 27 and 24. Now, obviously, with his emergence like that, teams are going to start to adjust, and they're going to give more attention to him. And that's what you were saying, that Nelly's going to have to step up. Again, before Z started stepping up to the extent that he has, Nelly, the team has started running the offense through Nelly, and he stepped up quite a bit. But between the two of them, and then again, of course, we got Thero as well, who is actually the team's leading scorer and the most consistent guy on the season.
Yes.
So we've got three really good offensive options, and we are going to need them going down into College Station because, as we look at the SEC standings here, here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams in the SEC that are ranked in the top 25 in the country. And let that sink in for a minute. That's over a third of the top 25 teams in the country in this conference, and that's really says a lot. Now, one of the best wins I think to date on A&M's record is they went into Missouri and beat a hot Missouri team. Missouri at the time was knocking on the door of the top 10, and A&M went down into Missouri and put a loss on them. And Missouri is a very potent offensive team. They can really score. And I know they held them into like the 60s and made the game A&M's type of game, which was a rock fight. Now, under Musselman, Arkansas was kind of known for winning those types of games. And that's why we had a lot of success against A&M. This team, while we've struggled a lot offensively, is a pretty solid defensive team. And in a minute, we're going to look at some of the comparisons there. But so Arkansas is a pretty salty defensive team too. And other than their inside post defense. But if we can find a way to shore that up and get on the boards, I think that's going to be the key to victory. And we
Yeah,
got,
definitely.
speaking of Arkansas's finest, we got Mr.
Woo
Oliver
pig.
O.D. McGee is in the house, one of Stuttgart's finest. So yeah, we up early, man. We trying to get a little preview action going into these games.
We
Uh,
appreciate you coming through.
yeah, for sure, for real, OD. Real talk. And but what one of the things me and Sarge are trying to do is to kind of get a little pregame action going into these games. I know particularly on the weekends, you guys got the post game covered. I know Mo has been doing some watch parties. I don't think he's going to do one today, but he's been holding that down. And then we kind of wanted to step in and do some of the pregame. So we really appreciate you guys. We came off the Woo Pig tree, and so we just trying to add on to the site, man. Try to add on to the site and bring a little bit more to the game from the perspective of the fans. So but again, now here's the thing. All right, and let me see if I can pull up the side by side comparisons. But again, if you look at the standings here in the SEC, Arkansas right now is like 3 games behind, say, Tennessee, or 2 games behind Tennessee, and 1 game behind Mississippi State, which is still ranked. So we're in pretty good shape, and getting a win like this against A&M can really put us back on the map. So this is a really key game for Arkansas.
And it would be huge momentum going into the next game at Auburn. I mean, it goes without saying.
And yeah,
And we're gonna need. I mean, we're gonna need everything we can muster in that game to go into Auburn. But this is a more than this is more than just a game. This is a game that could catapult us into, like you said, that next level of conversation.
yeah, and but like I said, I think I said it in the watch party on Hog Wild the other day. Um, I feel like this is the one to get. Auburn, I think, is another level because I think Auburn's more of a complete team. They got the inside play. They can defend. They can light it up on offense. They got the exterior shooting. They got the post play, and they're deep. And
Mm-hmm.
A&M is offensively a little bit more challenged. They got the defensive play. They got the rebounding, but Auburn is an all around more complete team. So I think
Yeah, Auburn's a matchup nightmare.
for
You
anybody.
know, yes,
And I think along with Alabama right now, it looks like those two are the 2 teams that's favored right now, not only to win the conference but maybe the national championship. And so of the 2 road games we're facing coming up here, I definitely think this is the one to get. And like you said, now if we
yes,
get it,
I agree.
we can take that confidence into Auburn. But right now, we got our hands full with these Aggies. Now, having said that, and I know it's something me and Sarge talked about beforehand. If you look at the tail of the tape, one of the things I think is really interesting is, okay, A&M is A&M. They're number 8. But if you go down the list here, you'll see that Arkansas, in a comparison, in a team-by-team comparison, leads the Aggies in almost every category. And that's every category but 2. That would be rebounding, where they're 12th in the country, and Arkansas is down at 157. But even those numbers can be a little deceiving because if you look at the number of rebounds per game, we're averaging 32, they're averaging 36, which doesn't seem to be that big of a gap as the rankings would imply. But at the same time, that's going to be one of the keys today, because A&M, they aren't the best shooting team, but they're winning a lot of games by holding you down on defense and then rebounding their own misses. And that's been a Achilles heel for the Razorbacks. So to what degree we can get in here and duplicate what we've done against other good rebounding teams like Georgia, which was the first when we got in conference play was Georgia at Arkansas. Then Alabama was number two rebounding team in the country. We didn't quite pull that off, but we held our own on the boards, and that was a big key to making that game as competitive as it was. And I want to say also, I think Texas was a pretty good rebounding team as well, and we went on the road and got that win. So, on the boards, that's going to be the key. So, Sarge, how are we gonna get in the boards and make some headway?
Well, if you look at it, right now our best rebounder is Adu Thiero. He's got 144 on the season. Our next best rebounder is Trevin Brazil at 98. That's a big difference there. We need guys to crash the glass. You got Big Z with 97, John L with 80, Jonas Adu with 83. I think a big key in today's game is, can we get anything from Jonas Adu? There's times that I think that there's where you could switch Big Z out for defense and put Adu in, because if you notice in that Alabama game, the when Big Z was down there, they bullied Big Z. Yeah. But as soon as Adu come in, they stopped that. So I think there's especially in key situations in the game. I think Adu could come in if he can give us something that that he hasn't been giving us. Out of either defensively, making the Texas A&M switch up. If they're getting us down low. And Big Z's not handling that down there. You bring in Big Jonas and let him start putting a body on them dudes down there and making them think, okay, if I come down there, I'm gonna get bodied. And most of the guys, you start putting a body on them, they start thinking twice about coming down there and wanting to dunk on somebody. So that's a sneaky little thing that I think that could get overlooked, is what Jonas Adu could do for us on the boards. If he can get in the game and be productive. But then, it's one of those things where are we in a position where we need more rebounds and defense, or are we in a position where we need offense and Big Z on the floor to give us his offensive capabilities? Now, I'm not saying, and everybody wants to, say Big Z is kind of a defensive liability, but, he is getting rebounds for us. It's not like he's not rebounding. He's at 97, and he's got 45 blocks. And I looked at his stats, and he's second in the whole SEC in blocks total on the season. So he does rim protect for us, whether we like it or not. And yes, he's not the most graceful on defense. I will give him that, but he can affect shots at times. But are you going to get that ESPN highlight on him? Most likely, yes. You're going to get one or two a game. But I will say this for Big Z: he doesn't back away from that challenge to try, even though he knows he's going to get dunked on. He doesn't shy away from it. And I think that says a lot for him and his character, and where he's at with his team. He's ready to do whatever it takes for this team. So I like that. And so I just think that our big man play today is going to be very important.
Right. One of the things I thought was kind of interesting looking at A&M's, stats, and particularly as it relates to rebounds, it's not like they have one guy that really kind of dominates on the boards. Their leading rebounder is averaging only like 5 rebounds a game, which is less than Thiero at 6, who leads Arkansas. And so, obviously that tells me they're rebounding by committee.
Yeah, they're crashing the glass.
Right, exactly, big time. And so we're going to need a similar type of approach. And so it's going to be all hands on deck. Brazil has been rebounding well. He's just similar to Z. He can get bullied,
Mm-hmm.
defending the post, but he can come in there and he can mix it up on the boards pretty good. And I think we got, the bodies that can do it between, the bigs that we have, especially if Ado, like you mentioned, gives us something and can come in and at least be a presence and
Yes.
not let us get bullied around so much. But
Set a tone.
exactly, and Adu, Adu Thero and Richmond and Carter Knox at in that 6'8", 6'6" range, they're able to get in there too and get some keyboards. And as well as even John L. Davis, I think is a pretty good rebounder and defender that tends to get overlooked sometimes. And we're gonna have to rebound by committee in this game because the thing about it is A&M's not a running team, so I don't think you have to be so worried about them sort of running you out of the gym that you're afraid to crash the boards. And
Right.
now another key I'll point to, and again, let's see, do they have 3-point percentage here? Yeah. Okay. Now A&M shoots only 31.2% from three. So, and again, I know Calipari and those guys don't like to do it, but again, if push comes to shove, we're getting bullied around inside. You know, uh, zone, maybe you might consider it. I know, it's harder to rebound in the zone, so maybe that's one reason why they don't like to do it too. But even still, it's like, don't be so paranoid about the 3-point line against a team that doesn't shoot that well from three, to where
But let me ask you this.
you're leaving your guys down low in one-on-one situations.
Let me ask you this on that note right there.
Mm-hmm.
Does it not seem like one of our biggest, I don't know, problems, I guess, if you want to say, is teams that don't shoot the three when they play Arkansas seem to be able to hit every three they want to shoot, you know, or like that guy that averages 4 points a game plays Arkansas and he gets 16, 18 points.
I don't think that's the case, man. Because again, I think if you look at our 3-point defense on the year, we're pretty good. Take Alabama for example. Alabama is notoriously a good 3-point shooting team, and they would shoot you out of the gym. And we held them to below their 3-point shooting percentage. And on the season, there may have been a game or two along the way where a guy kind of, had a good game. But I think where we've really been vulnerable on the defensive end is down low. That's where you've seen those guys who normally, like in the last game.
Alabama did, yeah. He averaged 4 points a game and he had like 16 against us.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so it's showing up the down low defense that I'm more concerned about, particularly against a team like A&M. Like I said,
Right.
they don't have the 3-point shooters. So, at this point, I mean, at least I would kind of approach the game like, maybe we'll dare them to take a few threes, but we're not going to let you just, hang Big Z out to dry in Brazil, knowing that they just don't have the man strength right now to hold it down against the kind of horses that you're going to be down there battling with in the SEC.
Right. I think another big key is Adu Thiero's got to. We just got to hope he's healthy. He didn't look right in the last game. He looked winded. You could see that during the game, it was like he was laboring, where he's usually, attack. He did some, but he wasn't finishing with the authority and the drives that he normally does in a game when he's fully healthy. So I think, I'm not saying he was sick, but you could see probably where he was still trying to get his wind back from being sick. And I'm hoping now that enough time's gone by that we get that dog that we know he can be for this game, because we're going to need him to play like that.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and also, again, one of the big things for him as a scorer and Knox has been the ability to get to the free throw line. And
Yes,
we're gonna need him to do that today. Now, whether
and
they
make
can
them.
do that at A&M and the referees call the game fairly will be one of the keys too. We want to look at. But of course, hey, it's always good to see my one of my
Miss
favorite
Nisha.
Nisha in the house. Always good to see you, Nisha. Thanks for coming through.
Nisha, you need to tell Miss Kathy. We need Miss Kathy come in. Oh wow, there's unbiased Brim too.
Oh,
What's up, Brim?
Brim, what it do, man? I say Brim has been busy doing this thing. I jumped on one of his boxing lives he was doing over on X. And he had a whole room full of guys in there going at it on the boxing scene. But Brim is always out there doing his thing, and so man, it's always good to see you come through, bro. Let's see. And Brim says, rebounds, keep them off the offensive glass, and we beat them. Okay. Well, Brim is one of the most astute, observers out there.
Can't argue that fact.
Basketball, football. He's a real connoisseur of sports, and so, obviously he's hitting the nail right on the head. Let's see. Let's go back to
That's a fact. Transplant text, and I did see that where he deflected that question.
what he say?
Chin Coleman, transplant text, said Chin Coleman, and I agree. I watched that, and he did deflect the question. And the one thing I will say too, it's hard to once a sickness gets in the locker room to keep it from getting everybody, because them guys travel together, they play together, they're sweating. So it's going to run through everybody, and it seems like it got Cal too. I mean, so
Right.
it's just one of those deals. You just need it to run through everybody as fast as possible and get it out the building and move on. But yes, it is that is a problem.
Right. Well, these guys are living in the world like everybody else.
Right.
We
Right.
we was just talking about before we came on that we got another big cold snap coming through, and whenever you get the weather going up and down like this, people are gonna get sick. It's.
But I know that I would say too, they have probably better access than most to the healthy foods and the stuff that they need to keep them healthy. If they don't, then I think that's a big mistake on the athletic department or the medical staff of not giving them guys the vitamins and stuff that they should be taking to keep their immune systems healthy.
Well, come on, Sarge. I mean, still, we're talking about.
But at the end of the day, you a man. You got to take care of yourself too.
We're human beings. Everybody's vulnerable to a cold. I know y'all don't get me started on this, but I know we went through a whole lot of drama about catching a cold, not so long ago. But at the end of the day, we're all vulnerable to catching colds, and they can get in and go around, especially when you're having some crazy weather.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
And
I didn't mean to seem like I was blaming the players, because I wasn't blaming the players
or the medical staff for that matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just something I think to help preventative, because this is every year. We all know that the flu season comes and it goes, and so I'm just saying, do what you can do to try to help yourself. It is all I'm saying.
This is an unusually severe weather patterns that we've seen.
Yeah, because it dang sure don't get that cold down here normally.
And of course, so it's going to have a larger effect. I know I've been seeing in my personal life. Thank God. Me and my wife have kind of, steered clear from it for the most part. But I know just coworkers and people in general, a lot of people have been getting sick. And so the players aren't.
I have too, knock on wood, so far.
Right, And, like I say, now, once I get my news channel going, what I'm just saying, we can get in depth on those conversations, but I'm not going to turn y'all off with that.
That's where we get to make people mad.
Not that we won't do it here,
Right.
I know everybody's already saying I cuss too much. And let me just throw that out there for anybody, asking that question. Once again, I'm just saying media is a free speech platform. We want people to come in, be themselves. We're not judging. We feel all perspectives and stuff are valid. And one of the things we don't want to do is open the door to censorship. Like I said, I served in the United States military. I've been a journalist because I stand on free speech, and all speech is valid. Of course, I'm not going to be out here cussing like a sailor necessarily, but at the same time, as an artist, as a writer, just a citizen of America, I'm not going to let any, teetotalers or, goody two shoes type people, tell me or anybody else what they can say. If you got to say what you got to say, get it off your chest, but, I ask you to be respectful, I'll ask that. And if you cross the line there, that's a whole different conversation. But in terms of some of the other stuff, it's like, we all grown in here. And when you put it on YouTube, they make you check the box. It's not for kids, okay? So
we
just
we working on that, transplant Texan. We're gonna fix that as the show goes on. Don't worry.
Okay, 15 minutes ago. You're right, Brim. So right now we at 12, and we are approaching up on game time. Let's go back and see if there's any things we want to cover. Now, one thing we can do, of course, and we got to get to this anyway, is predictions. So now you guys in the chats, if you got any picks, any predictions, go ahead and lay them down. Let's see what you guys
let us know.
Pick. But let's start with you, Sarge. Give me your analysis. Who's gonna win this thing and how?
I'm gonna say the Hawks go into Texas A&M and get this victory. We're gonna play good, solid basketball. Carter Knox, Billy Wagner are gonna show up. I have faith that Big Z he's on that roll. I just think he everything he's throwing up is falling right now. He's gonna keep it going. Nelly's gonna give you what Nelly gives you, and we're gonna shock Texas A&M and come out of there. And I say we win by 8.
Okay. Transplanted chimed in and said there's audio's going in and out. That may be moving around too.
Yeah.
And Sarge has been trying to coach me up on getting my audio game tight.
I told him we're gonna get that fixed up. Don't worry.
So yeah, we're gonna work on that. But you're right. I gotta be more cognizant of that. While I'm here, I think that's the issue. So I appreciate that, bro. And
Woo Pig 00 says 77-74 Razorbacks.
Okay, so he's got it close. And again, Woo Pig 00 is again one of our more astute observers here. So that's a good pick. Sarge, did you give a score? What do you think the
I'm gonna say 79 71 Razorbacks.
Okay. So what's that? 8-point Arkansas win. Okay, of course when it comes to technical issues, they don't get any better than OD. And OD, when he speaks on these technical issues, I'm definitely
he said it's cutting out 3 to 5 seconds at a time. I don't hear it on my end. I hear you nonstop, so we'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, I think it'll come through on the broadcast, not necessarily internally, but yeah. So OD man, you got any advice on how to fix that, man? Just let me and Sarge know, because I think it's me moving around, but it could.
Yeah, we're gonna speak with you, OD. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna hit you up and see what we can do about that. Get your opinion on it. We appreciate you offering the help, bro.
Yeah.
Really.
Cause I got this cheap Walmart USB mic. I got a DXLR. I got 2 of them actually, but even they aren't quality enough. I got to upgrade on the mic across the board. But right now I'm using this cheap USB mic. It's too short, and then I got a habit of moving around too much. I think, and that's where it's coming from. But now as for my prediction, Y'all know I don't pick against Arkansas, and I might consider it next week against Auburn, but not today. Um, I think the Hogs can get them. Again, we got a history of handling A&M. I hope Calipari can tap into that and bring that kind of energy because A&M is not one of those teams we fear. When it comes to basketball, especially. And we can go on the road. We can get this win. Matter of fact, I think a couple years ago, Musk took his team down there and like walloped them, like about 30, 20 point win down there, and they were good too. So um, traditionally, Arkansas, kind of handles A&M when it comes to basketball. Now, again, I watched that game with A&M in Missouri, and that was a slobber knocker. That was a dog fight for real. And I was impressed by them going down there and getting that win. But this ain't Missouri. This Arkansas. So we going down there today. I think Big Z's versatility is gonna cause him some problems like it has been against everybody else. I'm a little worried about John L because against a team like A&M, when you scared to put the ball on the floor, you're gonna be very limited. And so I'm not sure what he's gonna be able to do. But when it comes to those freshmen, uh, 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 Knox and Wagner and those guys, I really think they're gonna be able to mix it up some. Hopefully DJ can handle the pressure from A&M. That's going to help us out a lot. But again, like you guys are saying, I'm really now Coleman went out of his way to kind of pump up Adu and make some excuses for him, which I'm not giving Adu no excuses. I want to see him step up to the plate. And this is one of those games where he needs to do that. I know I don't see Melo here today, but I know Melo is always saying that, well, Adu is slow, and so playing that kind of up running style kind of slows him down. Okay, well, it's going to be your type of game today, Adu. And let's see what you got. Because, it ain't like, I've heard people say A&M got a lot of size, but again, when I watched them play, I didn't see it. Missouri definitely seemed like a bigger team. And so I don't know, but either way, you're all SEC big man. You should be able to hold your own against anybody. And so I want to see you kind of validate what Chin Coleman was saying because to this date, all season, you ain't showed nothing really in Arkansas uniform. And to be honest with you, the little attitude you got, you should have left that in Tennessee, bro. You know what I mean? And you done came on here, you done got you a bag. Here at Arkansas, we run John L down and Big Z and everybody else, but everybody seems to be giving you a pass. And I ain't giving you no pass. I want to see you show up and help this team win. Now, that's what Coleman was saying. Now, we're going to need you, and you're going to, have to step up at some point. And I'm still waiting to see it. But, everybody, ain't been really talking about you. But, here you're going to get talked about until you show something.
That's a fact.
Let's see. Transplant, he chimed in on the audio issues. He said, did not present until the last part of the podcast. Okay. I don't know. Transplanted says, after seeing Cal's animation during the LSU, I think he gets the team fired up to play. However, will the shots consistently drop for one? And that's the tough thing with A&M because they do hold teams to low shooting percentages. That's one of their strengths. It'll be close. Hence, my prediction. Drum roll, please. What you got, Transplanted? Come on with it, bro.
He did. He had 75, 74 Razorbacks.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we got 5 minutes before game time, so we're going to go ahead and close on out. Anything you want to say before we get off, Sarge?
Yeah, I just wanted to tell everybody we appreciate you rolling through with us this early in the morning. That means a lot to us. And two, we will be doing shows where we want you guys to call in and come in and join us and discuss your thoughts on what we're talking about, what's happening with the Razorbacks and stuff. And so this isn't going to be just me and I'm just saying show all the time by ourselves. The whole premise is we want you guys to be able to be involved too. And so just the pregame shows is not a lot of time to do that. So as we get things ironed out and we're learning all this technical stuff as we go. So just bear with us and we will get you guys involved more as we go. But as for today, let's go Razorbacks and let's go get this win.
Yeah, kind of like Sarge was saying, we're still figuring some things out. Yeah, I think ideally, eventually, we're going to try to go to a 2-hour pregame, and then that'll kind of open up a little more space, to get callers in, hopefully as we build up an audience and everything. But again, the pregame is one thing. We may do like a regular podcast, when we're going to fit in. We're not going to be bumping heads with Hog Wild and Woo Pig or nothing like that. But if we can carve out a space, we'll try to get like a regular podcast in where we can do like a fan call-in show. Again, we want to do audio as well as video and stuff like that. But, it's game time, everybody. And y'all, I got to send y'all out once again on this Arkansas boat now. Hey, y'all got to get into this flow, man, because I don't know about y'all, but this Arkansas boat gets me hyped. It's game time, everybody. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Here we go. Where you at, Bo? Bam.
All right. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Lights out, baby.
Got done fucked up and left my man in the game.
AKA Blind Dog Willie Brown from the Sugar Town.
Yeah,
Came to put it down, you know what I'm saying?
My man Arkansas boat. Sugar Town, baby, but ain't shit sweet. We gonna put it down like this. Yeah, come on, come on, come on.
This game been fucked ever since a nigga got signed. I drop rhymes and dot spines with Glock 9s. Let me stop lying. I don't dot spines with Glock 9s, but I got mine cocked and shine for those that watch and try to stop mine. Niggas get down when both do I spit rounds. Got veterans in this game running ready to quit now. Cold without the ice and it ain't shit that y'all can tell me. I want niggas buying their own shit attempting to outsell me. Mouths of mine, dog, and I spit nothing but gold. Every time I drop a record, it ain't nothing but soul. Arkansas the game in half cause I'm a Razorback. I'm spitting acid at your dome, peeling your facial back. Rhyme sharp and on point like the tip of a butcher knife. Unannounced like the coming of Christ, but it was I that took your life. Punch a punk on my impact, I need your body numb. My cocking is natural, just like the state that I'm from, nigga. This Arkansas's finest. I'm shining so hard in this game that if you scared, you just might wind up being blinded. This Arkansas's finest. I'm spitting cool shit in the ear, you catch a chill and you can't help but to rewind. This Arkansas's finest. Running up on the kid like this shit is not a plus, it's a minus. This Arkansas's finest. That nigga do I excel, I'm too advanced, leaving niggas running behind. Man, I rock like Kane, I drop like Bane. Can't nobody stop my thing, I'm Trump type, man. Rock microphones from right to left because I'm tight to death. You wanna fight, then step, vicious rights and lefts. You could get left in sights of death. Put your lips on the cannon, nigga, boy. You can bite the tips out, search your jeans and flee the scene. Squeaky clean, get up with my real niggas and go chief some green. Do-wop, bro, don't ask who I'm shooting cause I done shot ya. Had to scope on your every move and dropped your cucaracha. Hit it at the drop of a dime, my teeth yellow cause everything that I spit gon' shine. Right in the sun, fluorescent beams, no testing the team. Know what it means to have so much green? Your pockets bust from the seams? Well, I don't. Nigga, hand me everything that you got. Fireball up my pistol still and rain snot down. Nigga, this Arkansas's finest. I'm shining so hard in this game that if you scared, you just might wind up being blinded. This Arkansas's finest. I'm spitting cool shit in your ear, you catch a chill and you can't help but to rewind. This Arkansas's finest. Running up on the kid like you this shit is not a plus, it's a minus. This Arkansas's finest. That nigga do I excel, I'm too advanced, leaving niggas running behind. See ya, y'all done open the doors and call the nigga name so that he can show off his talents and act up in this thing, man. It's beat to the Izzo, dude to the whiz up. And if y'all try to battle, man, y'all niggas need to stizz up. Never aiming low, dog, I'm always aiming for the tiz up. Leaving these niggas stunned with Arkansas flows that I drizz up. Trying to take over hip hop. Flip paper, never blizz up. Overflowing with talent. We niggas go grab a miz up and soak up the game that I'm spitting. Hitting your gal with southern twang and now she petting the kitten. She do what she wants, she bitten by the black wolf. She stays in position, letting me beat the nookie. When I'm done